What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. I definitely apologize though. I'm like, I woke up feeling okay, but I kind of knew something was wrong a little bit. And then as the day went on, I don't know. I felt sick, like I had a cold or something. I don't know. But I know it's my allergies. And I might have a cold. I'm not really sure, but it's my nose. I can tell you that right now. But, you know, I am glad, you know, to be doing videos. It is currently 9:39 p.m. right now. So I definitely apologize for getting these videos out late. But I am geeked to, put some videos out. I want to check this video out by Benny. Definitely amazing dude. So let's go ahead and check it out, y'all.
The classic.
Oh, okay. And I definitely want to say, I know people that are like, Recklezz, you talk too much, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I got to say this. Big shout outs to Chris. Y'all don't know Chris. Y'all can look at my communities tab or my homepage. It's my girl. It's Chris TV. She literally put out a vlog of me getting my new car too. So y'all go check that out on her channel. And a big shout out to her because she had put an humidifier here, right here. Y'all probably can't see like the little smokes, the steam, whatever it's called. Y'all probably can't see it, but she put it on for me, you know, while the video. So big shout outs to Chris. You know, absolutely love her, you know.
Here we go. What do the kids think of Kamala Harris?
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
Did he just say liar? A kid said that?
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
A
Okay, here we
kid
go. What do
just
the kids
said
think of Kamala
liar?
Harris?
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
Which one do you think is more selfish?
Like selfish, probably her.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah, because girls are a little bit dramatic sometimes.
And do you think that people in the United States are ready to have
And I feel like judging, like just me assuming about this right now, I feel like some of these kids is probably obviously are going to follow what their parents say and like hear what it. But I feel like a lot of them also, like, kids are smart, bro. Kids are extremely smart. So just like that little girl just said, girls can be this way, you know. There's kids that's smart that actually, you know, sit there and think about things. Trust and believe.
another 4 years of Donald Trump if he's reelected?
No.
Why not?
Because, like, I feel like all he does is, like, complain and, like, yell.
The researchers found that opinions of the candidates from these 10 and 11-year-olds spanned a spectrum as wide as America.
Donald Trump, he's given his life and his heart.
She even shook hands with Mr. Trump to greet him before the debate, started the debate, which is pretty kind of when you're going against your opponent.
The study was designed by psychologist Ashley Landrum and political scientist Shanto Iyengar. Landrum conducted all the interviews and showed the students pictures of the candidates and asked them questions like,
Which one of these two do you think is more honest?
Which one of these two do you think would keep us safer if they were elected?
Landrum also showed them an emoji chart and a feelings chart and asked them questions like this.
I'm going to ask you how much you like each of these two candidates.
The questions were phrased to promote more open-ended conversations.
I live in an apartment. I want to get a house, but it's hard.
So the first thing the kid says is liar and that Kamala Harris isn't trustworthy. How did you get in?
Okay, I felt for that little kid. Like, dang, that's deep, bro. I feel like when he just said, like, I live in an apartment and I want a house, like, a kid saying that, bro, I feel like that right there is, like, it's deep to me because it just shows, like, how the little kids are paying attention to stuff like this, too. Yes, some kids obviously follow what their parents say. It's like grown adults that follow what their parents say and what their friends say. But there are some kids that's very smart and pay attention to a lot of things. And he's looking at the fact, oh, probably, you know, because I used to look like that when I was little, you know. Oh, yeah, this little kid, you know, he went home to this big house. And, you know, we lived in apartments before, you know, my parents and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know. I feel him. I feel him on that. That's definitely deep.
Interview with my kids. CNN, how dare you? I didn't sign a waiver for this. So this kid's extremely based. This kid went completely viral on X, along with the information from this survey, finding that Democrat-leaning kids were 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Kamala Harris. Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting Democrat-supporting households. The Republican Party is actually the party that is open-minded. It's an amazing lie. And also, it's incredible, especially if you're around little kids and if you have little kids, you realize that they're sponges of information. So it shows you exactly how loud the corporate media propaganda bubbles are, right? They don't need MK Ultra anymore because they actually, like, the Democrat Party writ large owns all media with a megaphone and can scream it into your faces, right? Can like sponge it into the kids' brains. Kid bodies Kamala Harris on CNN. It's over. Okay. Yeah. All right. The kids love Trump. So yeah, this kid's now pretty famous online, and good for him. But it's not just this kid actually that made the viral rounds. There was another girl in this CNN segment that said, hey, you know what? Like, I'm black. I'm a woman. I think it'd be nice to have a black woman president, but I'm voting for Trump.
Vice President Harris, students from both schools had a lot to say about her race and gender.
So do you think it matters more to voters that she's a woman or that she's a person of color?
I don't really care about what color she is. I just care about personality and what she wants to do.
Do you think people would be bothered at all by the fact that
hey, listen, I do gotta say too, y'all, like, I feel like a lot of people probably gonna disagree with me with this, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I feel like this is like one of the craziest, toughest times that we in right now, and I definitely gotta say that it is very, although this is something that's nice, and I actually like, that hearing kids' opinion on things, I feel like it is sad a little bit. I may get some hate, but I do feel like it's a little bit sad because just simple fact, like, we didn't do this. And I don't know, like, the study, like, if this is a good thing, if this is a bad thing, but we didn't do this. It was more so like when I was growing up, it was just kids. It didn't matter the color of your skin, especially like where I grew up at. I didn't really have to go through nothing like that, to be honest. It probably was a few times, but like really nothing like that. And it didn't change who I am today. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like this is I don't know. This is a time that it's pretty tough, Kids see different things, especially like online on these cell phones, these iPads, this, that, and the other. And kids is just not it's just not the same like how I grew up. You know what I mean? So I don't really know.
This is, half black and half
no,
Indian American.
No, because Barack Obama was elected twice, 2 terms, served all 8 years.
It'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history.
Yeah.
But my vote's kind of still on Trump.
Based.
There it is.
This be Trump's running mate? I'm not sure. Is that even legal? Yeah, so, okay. Listen, this is the kids are all right. And we find this every time we go to the college campus, actually. The kids are all right. And this is what the kids have been. It's nice to see like the kids without the programming, right? Like, so while the kids in blue states are like vicious against Republicans, the kids in Republican states and red states are very open-minded. And they're all saying like, yeah, race doesn't matter. Like, what are you talking about? You ever spend time around children, right? In a legal way, not like a Joe Biden way. Spend time around children. Right. And you'll find that they really don't care about this kind of stuff. This is all programming from society. And they program them at young ages. And this is why they want to get your hooks into your kids. Only a fool would allow his enemies to educate his children. Don't let them do this, right? Because like kids on the level are just like, what do you mean like racial? What are you talking about, racial hatred? Like that stuff needs to be programmed. The hatred of Donald Trump, that stuff needs to be programmed. It's great to see these kids in red states without the programming. What do they think of Donald Trump's assassination attempts? Trump is strong. Watch.
Many children were also very aware of the first assassination attempt on former President Trump.
And which one do you think is tougher? Donald Trump
because he did survive a gunshot.
And does anything else make him tougher, do you think? Or was it mostly his reaction to that?
He's also pretty brave. I mean, if I was president and I was talking in front of a lot of people, I would be really scared.
And why would something like that happen?
There's like a lot of cruel people in the world and stuff. And like, whenever something like that happens to them, they'll want to take it out on somebody else that they don't like.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Kind of like nervous, because like, you never know, one day it could be you.
What do the kids think about Trump's legal issues,
Sad,
right?
bro.
It's pretty weighty.
Telling y'all, stuff like that is sad. Like, kids even talking about that and like having and like that's in their brain, like saying programming their brain, like stuff like that is, I don't know. It's a little deep. It's definitely deep. I can say that.
Question to ask an adult, much less a child, but the answers are perfect. Here we go.
One thing that the kids talked a lot about, former President Trump's legal issues.
How much do you like Donald Trump using that scale?
Probably, Donald Trump probably hates me for doing this, so,
You really don't like Donald Trump?
I mean, come on, he went to, like, jail, I mean...
To be clear,
See,
while Trump was
that just goes to show you, like, that little kid right there, he listens to his parents. I mean, off bat, like, I know he does because, I mean, come on. That didn't happen. Like I said, there's some kids that actually, obviously, are going to listen to their parents. There's some kids that talk about it in school. They're on them iPads. They're on them phones. Some other, it's kids that I would say they're raised, they're obviously raised differently. Yeah, I'm going to just say that.
booked and released from jail, he didn't spend time behind bars. 32% of all students brought up the former president's legal issues. In general, kids who said they'd support Donald Trump did not see his legal problems as a disqualifier.
Hi, how are you doing today?
This was in May before Trump's conviction.
Should he be president again still?
Yeah, we can say, for example, JFK. He cheated on his wife, but, people still loved him. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, both slave owners. Being a slave owner is really bad. It's a really bad thing. But they still had 2 terms. So I think even though Trump has done bad stuff, he still deserves to run for president.
Just curious.
And now?
Which one of these 2 candidates?
That's a smart kid, though. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of these kids are smart. Just the way that they talking and what they saying and stuff like that, it just shows these kids, they pay attention.
Do you think is more likely to do bad things?
Convicted felon against a liar. Oh, my back.
He's funny.
Let's say Trump because he's a convicted felon.
Do you think it's okay for somebody who is a
He's
convicted felon to become president of the United States?
Yes.
In closing, I think this is an amazing piece by CNN, and it doesn't seem like they rigged their findings, right? They sort of showed the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
And the good is that the kids in the red states were the tolerant ones. I mean, maybe that's not good for the long-term survival of the Republican Party because the Democrat ones have been now completely and totally programmed to be little hate bots. But I think it's good for the nation, actually. I'm proud to be a part of the movement that actually doesn't try and instill viciousness and venom into the children, right? Sadistic. Here we go. The findings, the final findings that red state kids are way better adapted than blue state kids. Also, I think you got to blame the teachers on this one. Go.
Overall, the biggest finding, the children in the study were polarized, with what researchers called more extreme responses from the blue state kids than the red state kids.
Donald Trump, he did bad things. He's like Hitler.
He only wanted to be president so that he can just control everybody.
Trump is supporting January 6th now. I remember that January 6th was a bunch of Republicans believing Trump. I feel like they thought Trump was a god. People got arrested. I think one officer died afterwards. That was a big day.
The study found that these Democrat-leaning kids were about 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Kamala Harris.
That's what I'm saying, though, because all of that is because a lot of those kids, you know, when you let me tell y'all something. I'm not even gonna lie. It took me to like realize. I didn't believe it at first, but like when I got into these videos and stuff like that, when you know the right, you know, people, you know, conservatives, they would always get in my comments. They'd be like, "Yeah, Dems, they get mad, they yell, they do this at they do this at this protest, they do this at that event, and Republicans are just." And I'm, you know, looking at the fact like, well, you never know. When I tell y'all, people from the left, literally anybody that support, I'm telling y'all, it's bad the way that they talk. I see it myself, obviously, you know, now. But I started to see that, and it's bad. And that just goes to show you, like they got dem-leaning kids about 9 times more likely to share negative emotions about Trump. That just goes to show you that, like, on the left, everything. They talk about it freely, and obviously in front of the kids, mean, they say this, they say that, pushing out lies. And what do you think? I mean, the kids are going to do, you know?
Why might
It's
that
sad.
be? Psychologist Ashley Landrum has some ideas.
So Donald Trump is a very polarizing figure, and it's very possible that the kids are reacting to their parents reacting to Donald Trump being a very different kind of political figure than what we've seen before. So do the red state kids hold as strong of attitudes? Well, not when we're talking about Kamala Harris. In part, that could be because they don't know that much about her.
Landrum was also curious about how kids saw their peers in the political divide.
So do you think that the kids that live in those 2 houses would be friends with each other?
They can.
They can?
There's no law breaking that.
It doesn't matter if you are different by skin color, or it doesn't matter if you are different by people, you can still be friends.
The study found that Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. The Democrat-leaning kids...
See what I mean? That just goes to show y'all right there, bro. It goes to show y'all, even with the kids, it's just not something like... I told y'all, a year ago, I didn't believe it. A year ago, people couldn't tell me and then be like, oh, yeah, Democrats, they do this and they do that, and they do this, and Republicans, they don't do that. You know, and when somebody told me that, I was like, well, it got to be some people that, you know, man, I'm telling y'all, by my, like, 4th video of seeing different things, if y'all go all the way back, I was like, yeah, this is insane. This is insane, because I started off, I ain't going to lie, I ain't about to be, like, I ain't going to lie about nothing crazy, you know, like that, but I was independent. Like, I didn't know who to vote for. I didn't know where I didn't know nothing. But now as I start going along, this stuff is true. I'm telling y'all, it is true. It is bad. I have a whole family of Democrats. I'm telling y'all, it gets that bad. It gets that bad. And then when you try to get off a point, you're talking calm voice, ready to attack you. They're literally ready to attack you, ready to yell, ready to talk crazy, all that.
Kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. The Democrat-leaning kids were about 5 times more likely to say they would not want to go to a pro-Trump house.
Would they be okay with you going over to somebody's house who is really supportive of President Trump?
No.
No? And why not?
Because they know that he's not like black people, so they will not be happy to see me.
Would your family let you
That's
go over
sad,
to
bro.
somebody's house who's really supportive of Donald Trump?
No.
No, they wouldn't?
No.
And why not?
Because, like, my mom and dad don't like Donald Trump at all. Not a single bit.
Would you be okay going over to somebody's house whose family really likes Kamala Harris?
I think it'd be fine. It's just about the personality of the people.
Would your family...
Bro, I'm not even going to lie. Little dude, he's going to be something one day.
I think
Obviously, all these kids are, so I don't want y'all to... But this little dude, this is a
Fine,
smart
it's
little
just
kid.
about the personality of the people.
Would your family be okay if you went over to somebody's house who really liked Donald Trump?
If I want to be real over here, so if I just went over there, I imagine be a good old argument or a fight. Maybe like a food fight or something.
It's crazy, y'all. It just goes to show you, though. Like I said, it just goes to show you that some of these kids, obviously are, and even if some of those kids are listening to their parents, that's more so like cool, like being cool with other Democratic kids or Democratic families, however you put it, you know. I just feel like, honestly, I don't really know. Even though they listen to their parents, you know, that their parents that, you know, support Donald Trump, I still feel as if, you know, it's really on a cool side. It's on a cool, calm, collected. But then when you have so much, you know, of these kids that have Democratic parents, they're looking at the fact that my parents absolutely don't like him. And I'm telling y'all, it's probably some crazy stuff said. I'm about to imagine. You know, it's probably some crazy stuff that is said that, you know, these kids are hearing. So, of course, they're going to go, oh, yeah, we can't go over there. Anybody that support Trump, and then the one kid said he doesn't like black people. I mean, it's all there. Make sure to like with that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.